The Black Heritage Day app. Download today on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Sarah Lewis Vaughn was born on this day.
Hi, this is Jeremiah. John H. Johnson was born.
But today, let us not forget our debt to Toussaint Louverture.
Enola McMillan was born on this day in 1904.
Marshall Major Taylor was born in Indianapolis, Indiana on November.
Occurred on this day, December 20th, 1860.
Work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like It or Not starts now.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it.
Okay. I was like, is that me? I'm not sure. Yep, and not care who don't like it. Amen. How are you?
Doing
Brother
good,
Ben?
Rebecca Azor. How are you?
Oh, we got a new angle today.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this set up so I can do what I got to do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's giving.
Is it a little dark?
I mean, it's actually giving skin. Like it's dark, but it's the aesthetic. It's it's not a bad lighting. Yeah, it's giving glow.
Yeah, I am shiny, if that's what you mean.
No, I said glow. Glow is actually a good thing, especially in the summer. You have a summer glow, skin is glowing. That's what it's giving.
It is summertime and the living is not quite easy. I was going to say the living is easy, but that'd be a lie. That'd be a lie. What's going on in your world?
Song "Summertime and the living is easy." I'm the people gonna say in the streets because I'm Haitian. I ain't supposed to know that song.
Since you started that, have you seen all of the wonderful videos of Black Americans, descendants of enslaved Africans in America? First, let me start here. Have you heard about the so-called protest and boycott of African businesses by Black Americans?
Well, I've heard about that. I haven't really. It hasn't brushed across my page as far as like it's taken over, but TikTok, like when I go on TikTok to look for recipes for something, that's taken over TikTok. It's been a very huge discourse where a lot of people are saying to boycott, and I've even seen where some others are saying to do the opposite, boycott Black American business, and boycott African business, African. So, but it started with the whole boycott African business because the whole idea of they're trying to take over. Remember that. While you're grabbing that, I'm just going to speak, not pander. I remember that what we talked about the other day on the last show on Saturday, and we brought up brother Isaac Curry.
Yes.
And remember, we were just discussing like how wrong it was and gospel ain't dead and all the things, and there's an update with that. But the thing I knew that would happen, people always assume, like I said, that if I'm on the right side of the conversation, I have to be somebody who is xenophobic. They don't assume immediately that I'm Haitian until they go to my page and they see the flag. So because I was defending gospel music, there's no way I can be defending gospel music and be a Haitian American. So the person came and was like, isn't it strange? No, so they went and liked my post and things of that sort. And then I went to their page and I was like, isn't it strange that while we're talking about gospel music, we really need to talk about how the person who's saying all these things happens to be an African man. The guy is African, I think from Ghana, Ghanaian background. And he's like, because of that, we need to start protecting our own. Gospel needs to be protected because what's happening is Africans. You see how Africans are taking over the gospel world. They're coming over here and Black Americans are flocking to them as the preachers and as whatever and as da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, because the scam look different, it might be dressed up a little different. No, it's the same thing all the way across. That's in my opinion. I'm like, everybody, this the same thing. So it ain't that they're taking over anything. I see it as the same thing that y'all got to question why y'all would not remove yourselves from TD Jake's robe. Get off of it. Like,
what's wrong with TD Jakes?
There's nothing wrong with TD Jakes. I was an avid TD Jakes viewer, and supporter. And since I was itty bitty, and all the Haitians were Benny Hinn, and they were TD Jakes, and they were Juanita Bynum, and they were, all these people. So don't get me wrong, I know all these people, but y'all gotta ask the gospel industry why they ain't moved the needle for nobody else to be, having a bit of shine, as far as let the industry grow and then not be just TD Jakes as the sole, person for.
Well, because most of the channels are controlled by white folk, and they only gonna let one Negro up at a time. Like that's just what it is.
And the thing is, that's what I'm saying. That should be where the conversation. Ben, that is an important conversation.
Yeah,
they want to skip over that and blame it on
Africans.
And that's the problem for me. It's like you're doing exactly what they did to enslave folks way back in the day, and that's choose a Black person to be upset with, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So but it's backfired. It's backfired in spectacular ways. So they try to organize a boycott. They being like FBA, which stands for it's Fundamental Black Americans, which is nothing more than a trademark, literally a trademark owned by Tariq Nasheed. And so these folks are basically, let's just call them what they are. They're pro-Black imposters. They're pretending to care about the Black community, and they are destroying the Black community. And they're trying to do it by dividing Black Americans from the rest of the diaspora. And this week's edition was, let's boycott African businesses. Well, the truth is that didn't really go well for them, because now it's gotten everybody, like Black folks from all over, Black folks who are descendants of Africans, enslaved people, Black folks who've been here 5, 6, 7, 8 generations like myself, but they coming out and they are like out here saying, nah, we ain't with y'all on this. Just listen to a little bit of this one.
Okay. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. I got to put that in there because what I just said, yeah. So I just seen this post where this lady is sitting up on there talking about August 1st. It's supposed to be the day that everybody's supposed to boycott African shops. My first question is, how are you boycotting something that you don't go to?
Well, that's one.
You have locks in your head. How are you boycotting African braiders with locks in your head? Make it make sense to me. Also, how could you skip over everybody else and jump straight to the Africans? How do we do that? You literally jumped over white racist people.
That's what I said.
Racist people, Asian racist people, fucking fake ass Indian racist people. You skipped over all their businesses.
I can't vouch for everything she said, but
and went straight to the Africans.
Look, it got a little crazy right there for me, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna pat.
They just speak their mind. They aren't out here trying to eliminate us, unalive us, harm us, and do all this shit to us. They're not doing that. That's everybody else that you skipped over.
All right, here's another
Those
one.
Businesses.
Here's another one. Check it out.
Hey, I'm going to close with this. I noticed that behind this FBA movement, it's a lot of Black men. The sisters are behind this, but I see the Black men are like really doubling down. And my thing with y'all is you guys came on this internet with your podcast, with your ring lights and mics, talking down on your own women, your own African-American women. Y'all started with them. And then y'all, going down. Now y'all hate Africans. And then look, the Ralph Lauren thing, the Ralph Lauren campaign that you guys are hating on that, saying that that's not your experience, saying that you grew up stealing polo. What is wrong with you, brothers? I'm talking to the Black American men. What is wrong with y'all? You guys are supposed to be leading the women, and y'all are not behaving like leaders. Because at a time like this, when we are under attack as a nation, okay, let's not even forget that we're under attack as a race, as a Black race. Like, these people don't want none of us here, whether you're African, whether you're African American or Black American. We are not wanted here. Okay.
All right, let me share one more, and then we go.
It's funny, I rarely get my hair braided, and I just went to the African braiding shop, and here y'all is talk about y'all boycotting these folks. What is we boycotting them for? Please help me understand. Like, I understand that the Black American girls do know how to braid hair and stuff like that, but you can't just walk up in their shop. You gotta buy your own hair. They be charging 300 plus, just all these extra add-on fees. In the African shop, you got two people on your head. It ain't, you know what you're paying for. You know what you like, it is what it is. You can get food, you can get up, take a break, whatever. Like, what is we boycotting? And then it's like, y'all boycott everything else. Why the fuck y'all ain't boycott Lululemon? Why the fuck y'all ain't boycott Gucci? Why the fuck, why we not boycotting that? Like, why y'all not boycotting the shit that really need to be boycotted? Like, I don't be understanding it. The brains don't be braining. The thoughts don't be talking, because boycott who, baby? Do y'all see how neat? It's funny, I rarely get my
It's background. That's just like 3 videos out of like
Who?
how many.
This is literally my second. And no, if I said this to the lady at the braid shop. I said, I ain't coming to y'all for a weave. I'm just be honest with you. I go straight to my, Black Americans. They know how to put a weave in. This is my opinion solely. But when I got braids, when I'm going to get braids, it's gonna be Caribbean or African number one. And I just came from the Togolese lady. And she got me look. I said, "Hey, I just want a medium. Right. I want my skin color." She put this color together herself. She put different colors of hair together. Because I told her I want the trend of my skin color. Did it in 2 seconds. I came in there with no appointment, no nothing, and she hooked a sister up. Also when I said, you know what, I want the hairline braided differently, because I'm not the girl that I just like my hairline to be natural. I don't do the things the kids doing, the edges. A little bit just like that. I don't do the Betty Boop on the edge, on the edges. I ain't got enough for it. So so I went back, and she was like, no matter what, she's like, if there's anything that is wrong, you can always come back. She set aside time for me. Boy. No issue. So here's my thing with that. And a lot of them are doing this thing where they're booking appointments at the braid shop, setting up their cell phones and recording one-offs, and going off on them saying, this is why I don't go to no Africans, because it'd be just hood, it'd be just whatever. But you're there because the price, right? You're there because you can get out quicker, correct? You're there because it benefits you in some way, shape, or form. But it's not only with the hair, clothing, all the other things. Black Americans have the same thing. Why don't we just support all of us and all of our things, like you were saying, Ben? Because we're boycotting because of a rumor that Todd set up. I'm just kidding. A rumor that Donald Trump set up. And you have to understand that, and it's not only Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the example of the slave masters and the colonizers. So the same rhetoric that he is spewing out from one of the highest pulpits in the world, he is taking pages and the blueprint from the original colonizers. And that is to separate and make sure that if you can put something into one of the group's minds to tell them that the other group is taking away something from them, even though they have the same plight, they look exactly the same, and they come from the exact same place, then we can still gain control of them.
Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer is ancient as history is ancient. I want to bring up, and I don't know if this is a new person to the chat, and I'm sorry. And normally, I always tell people, stay out of the chat. But this one's important. Destiny, I'm not gonna knock you. I am gonna knock Tariq. This is what Destiny said. Then you have no idea what FBA is. You need to have a discussion with Tariq Nasheed and not just disparage you, man to man. It's hard to have a conversation with the man to man when he's hiding from me behind a block on Twitter. Tariq Nasheed been hiding from me for years. He unblocked me for like 6 months, and then I gave him so much direct hell that he blocked me again. I know exactly what. I mean, honestly, I could bring it up in a second and show you where it's nothing more than a trademark that he makes money off of. But I think it's important that we actually understand who the man is behind this operation. Here's Tariq Nasheed out of his own mouth, saying how he got offered a huge bag from white supremacists to disparage Africans and immigrants. Listen to him.
They would love for me to join with them to dump on some black immigrants. There's a huge bag for that. Let me tell y'all something. I've gotten calls from these white networks wanting to put me on and give me a real big bag to get on TV and get out here and start throwing black immigrants under the bus with them.
That shit, a whole tribe, a village of people got AIDS. They know they just gonna come over here and just get into black society. So what would stop them?
Now, the first clip that you heard was him saying he got the offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he made it seem like, okay, I'm too black to do that. Then just like about a year later, this is what he's saying.
You know, let's think about that. Let's put your thinking caps on. They know when African immigrants come over here, they're not going nowhere, but they're going to come right among black society.
There you go. So anyway, you missed the. I split it up wrong, but then he came back talking about. Well,
no, you actually. This is you played it before on the channel. You played both separately, but you were showing us the how he got the bag and then what happened when
after he got. Listen, I'm not gonna say he took the offer from white supremacists, but I am gonna say this. Why white supremacists feel comfortable enough calling you and offering you a big bag to betray black folks? White supremacists know good and well they could never call me. They could never offer me nothing. They can never say, Dixon, I got a huge bag for you to do what? To do what? Slap you upside the head? Okay, I'll do that for free. But they felt comfortable enough going to Tariq Nasheed. And then shortly thereafter, Destiny, he backed away from his whole documentary. He did a whole documentary on Haiti one time. He was Pan-African at one time. And now all of a sudden, he's heading up a boycott against Africans. Nah, we know who
it's
this
very
is.
much Talcum X. Like, very much. There's a lot of similarities in the grift. When one group of people find you out, you go to the next and you grift to their beliefs. You'll grift to whatever it is that you don't believe in, but they don't know about. And so with Talcum X, there was, I remember, a big, large group of elites that, when presented with actual information and evidence and receipts that Talcum X was, and Talcum X, if you guys don't know, is Sean King. But when he was putting out when there was so much information on the wrongdoings that he was doing, they said, we can't bring our brother down like that. We can't bring our brother down like that. And they held on. Then he moved on, and then he was within the church. Mm-hmm. And they said, we got to cover our brother. And he moved on to the next. And then he became, what it was, a Muslim?
Who you talking about, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a Muslim now.
And so went over there, and there was so much unfinished business with the other parties and groups of people that he left. And there's a big group of white people, because of white guilt, who associate with them. And I think it's easier because he looks like them. And so with that being said, they get to say, well, Sean King said, and here it's, well, Tariq Nasheed said, and we've heard, well, Dr. Umar said,
and we saw, you watched us. I mean, we watched the progression of Dr. Umar from being anti-Trump to being pro-Trump in in what, 3 weeks? Like how you do that?
Yeah, less than a month. And so to know that these people are getting a bag for whatever side they're on. We watched Kanye West go from
George Bush don't care about
black people to black people basically chose slavery.
Yes,
slavery
to White Lives Matter.
To White Lives Matter.
Now
we missed an area, then went back to the church. And it was covered by the church and created the whole cult-like choir, and then left it, got all the gospel awards, and left that, and then is now a Nazi.
A Nazi shouting "Hail Hitler." Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Like there's a progression, and these are the people. Now, does this mean? I want to be clear here because there's quite a few people who identify as ADOS and FBA because they want to delineate and say, I'm a Black person who is a descendant of enslaved Africans in America, right? Does this mean that everybody who does that is Tariq Nasheed-ish? No, not at all. But I think it's important for people to understand the origins of a movement that you're associating yourself with, understand the motivations behind it, understand that it is actually a registered trademark in Tariq Nasheed's name, and recognize that it's dividing and conquering. But what's beautiful about it is that Black folks, they're responding. Now that they said, oh, we're going to go boycott African businesses, Black folks is like, who going to go boycott who? We ain't going to boycott. We ain't boycotting African food. We ain't boycotting African beauticians, braiders. We ain't boycotting African nothing. Y'all go over there and boycott. But it's video after video after video. I mean, literally, I'm seeing like hundreds of videos of African Americans, people born in America, people whose ancestors were slaves in America. I'm seeing them saying, y'all over there by yourselves. For the rest of us, we Pan-African, we are part of the diaspora, and we tired of the diaspora wars. And I love to see it.
Shout out to Tutu's braiding hair salon, who needs some business because she's in the white area. Tutu's braiding hair salon in Ackworth. If y'all need a braider, check her out because sis braids it down. And it's not the type of African braiding salon where it's crazy. I know that we're used to those, but this one is beautiful. The atmosphere is nice. It's beautiful and pink inside. Check it out. It's called Tutu's. I think they're renaming it, but it's Tutu's braiding hair salon in Ackworth, Georgia. So, yes, please go check it out because it's predominantly white, but they're looking to, just expand, and that's where they have their business. So please, if you can, tell them Rebecca sent you. All right, you might get something, a little percentage off. I know the people. All right, I know the people. With that being said, we have to combat this type of stuff because even if it's just us, or if people say I don't like when people say, if we ignore it, it'll go away. Has that worked?
Ever. Never.
Because
never.
I wish if we ignored, because they've actually used that, Ben, whether we want to admit it or not, in the last election cycle.
That's right.
If we just ignore it and not vote or stand our ground because Kamala said this or whatever, it'll go away. It'll be fixed. And now we are undoing and making things so much more worse that we're going to have to do so much more of a cleanup than what we could have done with Kamala, former Vice President Kamala as president. And I think we have to understand that speaking up, now I know that we have to understand that speaking up actually makes a difference. Speaking up actually makes a difference. And we know that from a historical standpoint. People lost their lives speaking up, fighting and all the, because of where it didn't happen overnight, but with Donald Trump as president, we're undoing so much that overnight may not even look like 20 years. Overnight may not even look like 40 years. It's so much undoing and things that he set in place for years and years to come that we're going to have to keep calling it out so that we don't make it normal. It doesn't become our day to day. And that is another thing, is taking on these tired words and phrases and narratives about Black people. We haven't seen a spike like this when it came to diaspora wars in such a long time. We were coming to a place where I feel like people were just like, you know what? This is what it is. We got Burna Boy. We got Shabuzi. Shabuzi is a Nigerian man who sings country music in America from Virginia. Things like that are not an anomaly. It's actually, this happens all the time in America. We should be able to accept people as they are. And that's even amongst Black people, because we're not a monolith. And the idea that people are coming here to steal, kill, and destroy the Black American culture is crazy. You have people who are claiming FBA and ADOS, but Pan-Africans,
Right,
who are wearing kente cloth, who are subscribing to a lot of African ways, but want to remove them and create what? So this is why I say, and then we have some people who are opposite and who are calling out Black Americans and saying all those things about them as well. We should not be fighting each other. Afro-Latinos, they in the mix too. We don't want nobody want to be around them. I know Black Dominicans, so nobody wants to be around them. Nobody wants to be, because it's like, but at the end of the day, Black is not a monolith, and don't allow people to. I know so many. Look, I got Black friends. I know so many Black Americans. Like I said, growing up, I'm supposed to sit here and tell y'all I do not F with Black Americans, because my whole growing up was being bullied and attacked and talked down to. But when I got to Florida A&M University and I saw those Black American people tell me to learn more about my culture, dive into my culture, they never made me an other on campus. They let us have our own groups and we partnered with everybody else. It was never a thing that made me feel like an outsider on that campus. And I realized that what they're doing outside of where Blackness actually thrives,
that's right,
is separating folks. Because I'm here on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida, and the togetherness is crazy. One of my closest friends is a Nigerian Brit that went, the first time he came to America was him coming to FAMU. The first time I met a Nigerian out of Florida, Miami-Dade, talked just like Trick Daddy, was at FAMU. I met actual Cherokee. You know how you say, I got Cherokee. I said, no, I met actual Cherokee folk. Black ones at FAMU. So I was like, this is what they're teaching me outside is not what, no. In every class that I had, they were like, yo, Rebecca, we're going to have you do, as a dancer, in my dance course that I had to take, they made me do my project on Haitian dance culture. And I learned so much in that. They told me, you do not have to hide. You are you. They even told me, I told y'all about this already. Professor Ben said, Ben Davis, you
I'm about to say, wait.
Professor Benjamin Davis told me the way the world is going to see you when you leave here is going to be as an immigrant. And I did not believe it. And he said, they're going to make it tougher on you. So he had to train me, which sucked, lose the accent that I had, lose it. We're going to work on that. We're going to do all these things. And here we are. And you're telling me when I leave this beautiful world that I know, where it's almost like Wakanda for me. It's almost like Wakanda for me. They're telling me to look at the people that I grew relationships with from all sides of the world and tell them, because you're this, I can't F with you. Mm-hmm. You're taking from me, you're this from me, you're that. And that is not the truth. We should be aligning with one another. There's going to be arguments. We're going to, just like any other group, people want to be superior. But, let it be more of the horoscope arguments. So the Leos are better than the Taurus or whatever, right? Love who you are, because America wants us to hate who we are. So loving who we are has nothing to do for us to look at one another and say, I'm better than you're Black.
Come on.
I'm better than you're Black. I'm better than you're Black.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Enough of that.
I want to share, this is a British Nigerian man who is, for the first time, becoming aware of HBCU bands. Mm-hmm. Now, the band he's watching is Alcorn A&M. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Alcorn State University. Mm-hmm. And Alcorn State University was the first Black band that I ever saw. They came marching down the streets of Brookhaven, Mississippi when I was 7 years old, and the drum majors were tall and the girls were beautiful and the music was jamming. And then the drum majors did this, what he's about to see. They did this leap thing and they start flying through the air and stuff. I was hooked on HBCU bands ever since. This video just came out 12 days ago, and it just shows you how, like, the diaspora, like, we recognize each other when we allow ourselves to recognize each other, right? When we can see the beauty and the brilliance in each of our individual unique cultures, but we also see how all of our unique individual diasporic cultures are the same and connected and intertwined and have some of the same similarities. But just watch him as he sees it for the first time, because it reminded me of when I saw it for the first time as a little black boy in Mississippi.
I love it so much.
What's this story? People have probably got about 50 comments saying, Eddie, you have to check this out. Apparently, these are HBCU bands. When I searched for it, there was loads of them. So this is Alcorn State. Matching versus Jackson State, Soul Bowl 2022. I have no clue what it's going to be. But yeah, let's go.
That's on the radio right now. For sure, for sure.
This is talking more.
Bro.
Here it go. Here it goes. Gotta do it.
Hey. Now entering the stadium, the Alcorn State University marching band, the sounds of dynamite.
It's got a bit of spice on it. It's got a bit of a little smell.
Not a little, baby. We got a spice at the
This is lit. Where's Alcorn State?
It's in Mississippi, bro. Texas. Okay, anyway, go ahead, Rebecca.
He's maybe he's in Texas. Listen, when you go to an HBCU, now this may not have been Florida A&M University, and it may not have been BCC, now BCU, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But when you see an HBCU band coming down the street, now if it ain't fam, but if you see it, it's an experience. An HBCU experience, there's none other than that. If I ever were to go back and teach media anywhere, it would have to be at an HBCU.
Yeah.
Because of the togetherness. A man who was all the way in London or in the UK, an African man who has never seen the culture, but he sees it, the HBCU culture, and he's so impressed. And this is just a little taste of it, because one thing about HBCUs, our bands are bigger than the football team. We go to see the band. If your football team sucks, but the stadium is packed, that's because we waiting for halftime, right? For them to eat up the opponents in the band. You know, this is what we look forward to. And see, I know, guys.
That's what they want to stop. They want to stop this.
We see that with Marva Johnson over there at FAMU, who is doing
Marva.
She's Marga Marva, who is and not only Marga Marva, they put another Ron DeSantis appointee on the board of trustees just the other day. And this woman that they put on is saying how much Marga Marva has helped her. I don't care. Somebody said not all skin is kin, or not all whatever. Not all kinfolk is skinfolk, and that is very factual and true. Not all skinfolk is kinfolk.
There they go.
Right? But their knees don't feel like their knees ain't going high enough. But you know
what? Don't even try, because I could put FAMU next to look where he paused it just by happenstance. That's higher than a 90-degree angle. Them boys are stepping. Now they don't always step. But them Cookman drum majors always step, though. Go ahead, Rebecca.
That's all right. We're gonna be quiet on that one.
Yeah, I marched in the HBCU marching band, and believe it or not, I was drum major in high school, so I take this very, very seriously. Go ahead, Rebecca.
I know, and that's why I'm gonna leave that. But you know, I feel like they want to take this away for the very same reason we just discussed at the beginning of the show. Because the more they can divide and conquer, the better. If you take away HBCUs, or if you go to HBCUs and you figure out why there's so much togetherness. I told you, outside in Palm Beach, all I know and all I had was Haitian friends. All the Black American people were taught to taunt us and to fight us. And we were taught to protect ourselves from them. And when I got to FAMU, I didn't know anything about anything. I would have never you would have never guessed I experienced what I experienced back home or in the outside world, outside of what FAMU taught me, outside of the culture of FAMU. They didn't care if you were Haitian. They didn't care if you were from the UK. They didn't care if you were African. They didn't care if you were Black American. You didn't come to class, the professor was shutting the door. You didn't do your work.
That's right. That's right.
You was probably gonna have to retake the course. You was gonna be in the same line with everybody else at the financial aid building. You was eating the same fried chicken on Wednesdays that FAMU said you was gonna eat with the mac and cheese. And that was on period. We accepted the culture because they accepted us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that I needed to start eating fried chicken, because I never ate it before I got the fam. Look, I never ate greens. I never ate no soul food until I got the FAMU. And they was like, you gonna eat this waffle in the morning. I'm like, there's no Haitian spaghetti. There's no, you gonna eat this waffle in the morning and you gonna make it yourself. There's a waffle maker right there. And before class, you gonna make your own waffle. They literally had the cast iron waffle maker. We was in there making our own waffles, man.
Hey, you gonna have to you gonna have to you gonna have to learn to survive at HBCU. That's the truth. Look, but I, you know what? I didn't get enough time at my HBCU. I didn't get a chance to graduate from Bethune-Cookman, but the 2, 3, how many years I was there?
Oh, if you were there, that means you went there. You experienced it.
But what I remember was, and I wasn't the age, I wasn't of the mindset to really take everything I could have taken. I appreciated it. I appreciated the HBCU experience. I appreciated the marching band. I was there for math and marching band. Tell me how that adds up. Well, I can tell you now, but back then I couldn't. I was there for math and for marching band, but I was on the campus of Mary McLeod Bethune, right? I knew I was learning who she was because they were teaching that to us, but then I didn't really sit and absorb the history of the land that we were sitting on. I didn't really sit and absorb the professors who were trying to teach us about African history and the diaspora and you know, how it turned into African American history. Like, I didn't really just sit there, but if I ever had a chance to teach it now, to be because, I'm too old to be, not too old to be a student, but I've learned too much and there's too much to share. Like, I would genuinely value the chance to train up a whole generation of young Black folks to appreciate the subtle things that we miss because we're so busy in college just trying to live. And so you miss some things while you're there. But if I had a chance to do it all over again, like, there's nothing like going to an HBCU. Exactly because of what you said, Rebecca, because it's like, it's African people from all over the world who show up there. Like, you're not just Black, you're diasporic Black. Like, you're all the threads of how you as a Black person connect with the Nigerian, how you as a Black person connect with somebody from Ghana, how you connect with somebody from Haiti, and you're learning about Haiti's history while you're learning about, African American history, and you connect the dots. And what they don't want us to do is connect the dots enough to see that we have never been each other's enemies. There's never been a reason for us to oppose one another. But there you go. You have Negroes like Dr. Carl Mack will probably cuss me out. You have Black folk like Tariq Nasheed, who is invested literally in dividing us. And I'm just so glad to see the diaspora stand up and the tribe stand up and say, boycott who? African food? Ain't nobody boycotting that. Ain't nobody boycotting their stores. What we're going to do, if we're going to boycott anybody, I'm going to keep it 100. If we're going to boycott anybody in the Black community, we need to boycott all of the people in our community who come and take our money and take it out of the community. All of the beauty supply stores in the Black community, not nary one of them are owned by Black people. They are overwhelmingly owned by Koreans and Asians. No hate to them as a community.
No hate to them. I'll just
but
insert
when you
this
come
also.
to our community, well, who you said also who?
Also, here in in the area, down the street, there's in the predominantly white area. I don't know why they're coming to these predominantly white areas. Might be more affordable. But there's a Black-owned hair store called Groovy Groovy. Just want to tell you that in Georgia. Check it out.
Is it owned by black folk?
It's owned and operated by a black couple that you will always see standing at the front. they are working together. If somebody comes in there, she's at the front. He'll hear the thing. He'll come behind her with a bag and just be waiting there for you to grab your little item and head on out. Okay,
Yeah.
So just wanted to say that. So I said Tutu's hair braiding salon, and I said Groovy's beauty and hair store, in North.
So here's the thing. Like, and I'm very particular. I think every marginalized community of every race should be working together. However, when you have come to our community and you've set up shop and you take money out of our community, put nothing back into our community, and you're racist towards us when we come in and you follow us around your store just like it was any old regular white supremacist store, that's who we should boycott. So every Asian-owned beauty supply store in the black community, no, we really need to muscle them and say, hey, if you want to stay here, you need to be 51% owned by black folks. Mm-hmm. All of the Arab store restaurants that come and fry chicken and it tastes good and we love them and they all owned by Arabs, love y'all, but you want to keep taking money out of the black community, 51% need to be owned by black folks because we cannot keep letting our wealth go out of our community. Now, if you're going to boycott anybody, boycott them. Don't be racist towards them, but just make a business decision to save money that is taken from black folks, specifically from our soul food, from our hair to our clothing. That money needs to circulate in the black community first. And then if after 6 months, it wants to go out. Right now, it don't stay in the black community for 6 hours. Mm-hmm. The dollar does not stay in the black community for a whole day before it leaves the black community. So, and then one last thing, when you consider that black folks in America, what we spend is more than the GDP of entire nations. What black people spend in the United States of America is more than what many nations have for their entire GDP. But none of that money stays in the black community. Boycott those businesses.
I think for sure. I seen a video earlier and I said, okay, so I'm glad that this is being talked about. They were like, the Asians are frying chicken and this is the best. A woman was saying this is the best recipe for frying chicken. And they was like, yeah, you know why, right? Because when a lot of the African Americans were deployed in those Asian countries, yes, they had to, teach them how to do that for the Black Americans to eat and for them to come together and be able to feed them and things like that. And that became a recipe passed down from Black Americans to the Asian community. And so I think that fried chicken goes way back to the motherland. Mm-hmm. But the recipe, we can't lose them. Okay. And when we're going to talk about them, we got to talk about where they came from, who put it together, how it came about. And that one, we got to say fried chicken, the way we know fried chicken to be. It didn't come from Kentucky Fried Chicken from the Colonel.
Now when I'm desperate and I just got to give me a piece of, I've had occasion to eat from the Colonel.
No, a lot. My best friend is from where the Colonel has made the chicken, where the recipe sits. But I have tasted my best friend's mother's,
and it's better.
And it's better.
Let me tell you who else is getting close.
Miss Benita out there in Kentucky. Her fried chicken is good.
let me tell you who's getting close. Let me tell you getting close. And it's a damn shame we up here talking about fried chicken, but it is what it is. Publix fried chicken. Ain't bad.
Man, I told you, Publix got me. Them white over there that's doing folks wrong at that company. You go in there and you smell the chicken from the damn, and you be like, now who in there cooking the chicken? And then you see the lady with the big elbow. You see her with the hairnet.
They done colonized somebody's recipe and took it to Publix, and they be messing you up.
Listen. I'm like, okay, now this is a good piece of fried chicken.
I'm so ashamed.
You can't afford no food. You go straight to Publix, baby. You got you a meal.
Get you one piece. Get you 2 pieces for what? Like $7 with a
and
side.
You can feed you and the kids. You don't gotta go hide and sit in the car. You can come out the car with a good $9. And they may have one up in price, and that's all right. But the chicken at Publix.
I didn't know you can ask for a sample. No.
Oh, listen, on your breaks, but I knew about this on my breaks when I was working in corporate.
We so black as
and I didn't have $1 to my name. I would drive on over, and I'm like, in the little, in the little window area when you got the phone. I was like, I think, you know what? I haven't had. What is that? They's like, that's a tender, ma'am. Could I try that one? Did they give
I don't know what they taste like. What are they?
I'm like, can I try? Is that the dipping sauce? Can I try? Okay, man, we'll give you a little sample.
Look,
this is delicious. You know what? I'm gonna go with something else.
Delicious. Look,
listen.
Look, all I'm saying is if we gonna boycott anybody, boycott the folks who is extracting, like, and then I'll be honest with you, that's every big box store, right? Like they are literally designed to come and take from Publix to Walmart to all of them. But it makes absolutely no sense. And what's beautiful about it is that the people who try to organize a boycott against Africans have awakened the tribe. The diaspora is speaking out, and Black folks who are tired of FBA and ADOS doing this dividing and conquering, they are speaking out video after video after video. So it's good. Thank y'all for trying to divide us, because now everybody's aware of it and they're pushing back and the tide is turning.
I'm still laughing about you pointing out that the chicken
thing.
over there, because at Kroger it's not the best for me.
It's okay.
It's okay, but it's $5 at Kroger.
You get a good deal.
But I will say during the summer months, it's gonna be a white man that's real country flipping over a rack in the front. He gonna be flipping that rack of fat.
Yes.
He gonna be flipping it over. And
listen, you know what it is? You know what it is? I tell you what it is. It's because poor white folks are working at Publix. And oppressed white folks are, they oppressed because of capitalism. Like, they still might have some racism in them, but they are living paycheck to paycheck and they just getting by. And that soul gets spilled over into how they spin that chicken, how they batter it. When there's a struggle
there, listen to me. The Kroger that I'm next to, it is by those people that you speaking of, Ben. And I will say they're the same people that control the Waffle Houses that y'all love to eat from.
Yeah, there's some solidarity there.
The man in the front was toothless, but he was flipping that thing over. Okay. So I got a story about yesterday. Yesterday was my nephew's birthday. We took him out to eat. Shouts out to Jediah. Jediah, I love you. Happy birthday, my baby. It was my nephew's birthday. We took him out to eat. We had a racist experience when I took him on the run that I go on every day. It was 2 white men in a vehicle. They actually gave us a ticket for parking where we usually park, for me to just find out that the city's just insured some parking sharks. So if you park somewhere to go into a trail, they're going to take a picture of you walking into the trail and then put a ticket on your vehicle and then send you the picture of you walking to the trail. Very strange. Anyway, so I felt so bad about that. Then we went to I'm not gonna name the restaurant. We went to a Black breakfast restaurant in Marietta, and they had an amazing time. But we noticed that there were white workers at this Black-owned restaurant, but a Black cook. Black cook was doing everything he could do, all the things. My baby took a bite of his burger, and I said, "Hey, baby, you all right?" He's like, and I said, "What's going on?" And behind his burger was just little spots of mold. And our food was good though, but there were spots of mold. And that man was out when we made the complaint. The white woman was like, "I've never been in we can hear their conversation. I've never been in a position where I had to take food back." And then at that point we was like, "Hold on, white lady, now we was gonna go off, but now you back there talking to the only Black cook who has no help in here. And you saying that you've never been in a position where you had to take food back. All of our food is actually good, but my baby, he must have just took out the food and wanted us to eat and did not see that there was a molded bread inside." Now, when we went outside when we were leaving, because we started drama, they complimented the check and we said, "Let's get out of here. Let's go."
You got your food.
We said, "Let's get out of here. Everybody good? Get your to-go plates. Let's go." So when we got out there, I saw the man. I thought I left my phone there. The kids went somewhere else with their dad and their uncle. And I thought, let me go back and look if I left my phone around the area. The man was outside as toothless as they come, everything, just struggling. She ain't going. He left the kitchen and went to go sit outside. People had walked in there and waiting for food. He said, "I don't give a damn." Her tone. That's what he was on the phone saying this, and I walked up and said, "Hey, I just want to apologize. And then the food you were making was good. It's just that there was the molded bread, and we wanted to make sure that y'all know there could be a batch of bread out here that you may be molded and you may not know. We understand." I said, "I seen you back there on your own, cooking and making sure that the food was coming to us." I said that to him. He's like, "But I cooked it good though." And I said, "And you did.
And you did, brother.
I said, and you did, my brother. You good to go with me." You're good.
Oh my goodness. Oh
but
goodness.
yeah, the struggle. And somebody wants to know is that I made your food good. Because I know how my mama taught me. I know how I'm in the kitchen cooking fried chicken. And everybody is sitting here disrespecting me. White folks want to come back here and tell me. He said, her tone. Nobody eating in this mug. He left and walked out and sat outside. The lady came to me with white tears at first and was like, "I'm so sorry. I never." It's like he's mad back there. And I'm like, "Now you don't come to me with that, white lady. You don't come to me with that, white lady. I will not. I'm not. Yes, we have molded bread. We got the ticket comped as we should. But you, white lady, will not come to me with that. I watched this black man back there by himself. Not another nan cook back there. Not another nan cook. And you could tell is somebody who is working to make sure he gets a check. And maybe that comped check
might have hurt him.
Would have hurt him.
Yeah.
And that's where my problem lied. And she was like, "Make sure you call the owner and let them know what he did." I'm not.
Call the owner and say he did a great job. Y'all need to just get him some help and give him a raise.
My brother and me, we sat in the car and we talked about it. And I went and told that man, he told you he was back there. He said, "I know my tone is bad with the manager." He said, "But her tone was rude. She had the nerve to come in there after my long day. I'm cooking for everybody. I'm cooking for everybody." I said, "Oh, sir, you cooked great. It was delicious." That's all he wanted to know. As long as he made me feel good about how my food tasted, that's all it was about. And that's that's what that soul in the food gives. And even with I ain't talking about Nashville soul. I'm talking about the people who are not even in we know the folks I'm talking about, the white folks that's in the back with the
Appalachia soul.
That's making illegal drinks from whatever.
Moonshine soul. Yeah.
Remember man who that man that we work with? And I would never eat his food.
I was just about to tell you, I was going to bring him up. You didn't eat that man's red beans and rice?
You came to me and was like, "Rebecca, you need to eat these." And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not doing." That day my son was like, I'm like, "I'm okay, everything is fine." And we used to work then like 12-hour shifts, 13-hour shifts, and I just wasn't eating. I couldn't afford it, even though we were going viral every single day. Either I couldn't afford it, or I couldn't leave to go get any food because we had to have the show out at a certain time. And that man came with his container with the red beans and rice. Ben, we can't hear you.
I tried it. I said, "You can't cook no red beans and rice. You maybe it was racist of me to say. I said, "You white. You can't possibly cook red beans and rice like my people from Louisiana." That man came up there with some of the best damn red beans and rice I had ever had and have ever had ever since. And then I realized it's because he was poor and he knew how to squeeze every bit that he could of goodness out of what he had, and he put it in them red beans and rice. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to taste it. I probably ate it all.
No, Ben, you forced me to taste it. You put it on a little thing, and you said, "Just try it." Remember, you came to me like a slave in the night. Just try. Just try. You cornered me, and remember, you was like, just try it. I'm like, okay.
Because you were trying to be bougie and say, "I'm not going to eat that."
Bougie, hungry, and poor.
Look.
I said I wouldn't eat from no white people's hands.
And you ate that because then after that was that event, the birthday event for the other guy's wife, and everybody brought in dishes, and we ain't gonna talk about.
Remember, we definitely brought in dishes. What a time!
Not there. We ain't gonna talk about. But when he brought in his dish, the guy who cooked the red beans and rice, I ate everything that man cooked.
And Ben and I did not touch the other person's wife's dish.
Yeah, because some stuff from Donkershoen.
It was a
German.
Was it okay? It was a. We said.
And it wasn't bad because it was German.
And it was not because, but and came in a beautiful. I love the way.
Oh
it came.
yeah,
She put it in a beautiful. She packaged it up in a glass container, like beautiful Chinaware. Did all the China that we don't use in the black household. She brought it in that.
That's like 8 years, 7, 8 years ago now, ain't
it? Yeah, 9. I want to say, but she said we looked at it. It came around the room.
Kept going.
He was like,
and then the white man's this, the other white man, the white man from the South. His because that's what it is. You get you a white person from the South or somebody who been from Appalachia or somebody who been struggling up north, and you might get you some soul food. You might actually get you something with some soul in it.
And it's that person. You know, and to wherever you go, when you expect, because if black people can accept what they got going on over at Waffle House when they're drunk and letting folks talk over their food, fight a little bit, come back inside with their cigarette, come back and fight a little bit more over the food, and then be like, ding, 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 ding. Sausage, egg, and cheese, and you come get it, and you still eating in there while people fighting. You can eat the red beans and rice from your fellow friend. Now, I don't know any white person. I don't think I have any white friends that are like real white friends in my life, like that are tangible friends, like not outside of
in person.
Right. Yeah, in person friends. But if I'm saying that, and you probably are one, and I forgot about you. Sorry.
Oh,
we haven't talked in a while, maybe. But I haven't had anyone cook for me in that way except for that. And it's one of those things where you don't eat at everybody's house. I've seen even,
you hungry enough, you will.
When the new black folks is coming, some of y'all letting the dogs and cats in the kitchen. Some of y'all letting turtles walk over the dishes.
What are we doing here?
Some of y'all letting rabbits hop up on the counter, nibble a little bit at the potatoes, and walk away.
What are we doing here? What's going on? What did you talk about? Who doing that?
Just go on TikTok.
Oh, Lord.
And
Lord.
But won't go under any bridge to go feed the people.
Wait. Hold on, State of Being. You cannot have been with us long enough to hear us repeat these stories. Get out of here. Get out of here with this mess. What are we doing today?
We did tell the story a million times, child, because that was
at least twice a year. At least twice a year.
But the best part about it is when I put them on. Remember when I was like, I put you on to these wings, and you said, "Fucking these wings is good." And remember when they used to be like, "What are we gonna eat today for lunch?" When they didn't want us to leave, and I would be like, "Oh, I want some lemon pepper wings."
Oh yeah.
And it was from a hole in the wall spot.
Oh, do you know how many times I visited that place after you put me onto that? I used to drive from the airport up to that spot to get those specific wings. Go ahead.
The wings were incredible. They caught me off guard. One day I went in there for Asian food, but then they had chicken wings, but it's a hole in the wall spot.
And they rude as ever. They rude.
They rude. They don't talk to you. They be in the front like chicken wing, girl, sir.
But they rude.
But
the food was so good.
And then how they be telling you like you didn't ask for a dry rub, you didn't ask for whatever. I said, can I get the hot sauce? They will take a container like it's 17 years old, squeeze it on top of it, and I was like, oh my God. But we ate it. So remember that day when we ordered it, and we ordered like tubs of it.
Yes,
they paid for it.
We ordered everything,
and we took our pieces home. And they're like, "Oh, we're good." We're like, "Oh,
thank you." I fed my kids off that for 2 days. What you talking about?
They said, yeah. So and it's like I don't know what it was, but my stomach was really hurting after that. I bet you it was.
Because they get to eat whole. They get to eat whole foods. They get to eat all the non-processed food. No HGMOs.
MSG. Listen. What a time that was. We was putting them on the food. And Ben, you put me on the food. I came to your baby shower, and all I had was the food y'all cooked. You came to when my sister had cooked the poisson
soup,
rolls. Yeah, the
and
fish and the
soup.
it was soup jumeau. But
Yes.
you had soup jumeau, but you also had the poisson rolls, the fish.
Yes.
And and that was good, and those things. So listen, when the food is good, the food is good. The recipes must not be lost, and the recipes must be credited to the person who made the recipes do the thing it was going to do. But some people who learn the recipe might not have a melanated hand.
But
it might still be all right.
It might still be all right because what it is, I honestly believe when it comes down to food, and you ain't got nothing but some flour in the kitchen. Look, you know how to make that flour taste extra good. You know what you got to do. You got to, and it ain't gonna be healthy for nobody. But you just got to take it on the chin and say we can't eat healthy this year, but you're gonna eat. And as long as you're gonna eat, you go outside and run around the house a couple times. You go, you'll be okay. Get a little bit older. You'll go when you get older. You can afford to buy some whole foods. But for right now, and I think a lot of people had that experience. So we might be surprised how good food is. But even if though, and I think that's why them wings in the Arab community be so good. It's not in the Arab community. It's in the Black community owned by Arabs. But they be putting that seasoning on it. That stuff to make you cough and sneeze if you get too much on you. But man, look here. I ain't gonna lie. It's good. But it need to be owned 51% by Black folk. And that's where we need to put our energy. Not against the Africans.
Yeah, not against Africans and not against each other.
Good Lord, we've been on for a whole hour already.
We have been. Before we get off, I actually wanted to comment on something. Most recently, there was a mass murder.
New York.
In New York, and people are making the mass shooter a vigilante, and I have a problem with that in this case because, like I was saying on my threads, we got to be careful with putting out misinformation. I had quote threaded. Is that what the kids called it? I don't know. But I had quote threaded somebody who said the Blackstone shooter got the CEO of Blackstone. The media keeps lying, saying he was targeting the NFL, but he was targeting the CEO instead. The media is trying to stop the next wave of Luigi Mangione-esque vigilante fever. Oh, as my camera shut off. But I said, and all I said was yesterday's Blackstone mass shooting. Victims were employees, security staff, just doing their jobs. The shooter, who had died by suicide, was mentally unwell. Let's be clear. He was not a vigilante. Stop trying to bend over sideways like y'all did with Luigi. And no, he did not kill the CEO of Blackstone. That's misinformation. It was a senior exec. Twisting this into a folk hero moment is dangerous and disrespectful. Don't let lies go viral while victims are being buried. You guys are sick. The reason I have a problem with this is because this is a mass murder. Somebody was mentally unwell. But I also have an issue with the narrative that they're going to try to create every time something like this happens. And this is where I say this is lazy leftist work. When you just want to make these mass shooters who may be killing people who are not good or who own companies that are not good. But so the people who were at the door, like the Haitian man who was a security guard who was unarmed, is that person. When I said somebody died, somebody wrote me, a leftist person, and said, yeah, they were bad people. And I said, this is going to be a problem if we're trying to move in the right direction. Trying to create a Luigi out of everybody.
Yeah.
Is not going to be the way to go. It's not going to be the way to go. Let me get my battery as you take over, Ben.
Yeah, I'm just reading this. He was absolutely not a vigilante. This is from Devil's Advocate Productions. Broke this down to Pascal from the Pascal Show on his space on this space on Tuesday. This guy was simply mentally unwell and was unable to purchase a gun, same as it ever was. Yeah, listen, there's going to be rare occasions where you're going to find me, giving somebody a shout out for vigilante style justice. I didn't even give a shout out to Luigi. I think I might have wanted to. I just out of discipline didn't. But I'm not looking for. We don't take the system down with vigilante justice, with violence. Nobody does violence better than them, y'all. And I think people need to realize that We can't win this fight with violence because they are the masters of violence. They will drop a nuke on a city when they didn't really have to, right? They will genocide an entire people right in front of your eyes. So if we think we can win this with violence, then we're sadly mistaken. Now, I'm not on the other side of the spectrum and say no violence at all. No, you come down my street and you present a threat to my people, my family, my tribe, my church, my kinfolk, my allies, then we're gonna meet violence with violence. It's just what it is. Whosoever win, let them win. Right. But to go out and provoke violence with people who are masters of violence and just waiting for a chance to use their new bomb that they've been working on, no, that's not wise.
Yep. And then to to say that the people who were murdered were just
bad people just because they work there.
That's insane. That's an insane take. And I've seen that so many times. And let me go to the post because I want to let you know how many people reposted and it also was in so much misinformation was included in that post alone. So just to this is shared over 3,000 times and on Threads. That's 1 million times because there's 4 black folks on Threads.
Did you send the link? You want to pull it up?
47,000 views. Oh, okay. I'll
wow.
There. 47,000 views, and it's so interesting how this person was very adamant and hasn't taken it down. And that bothers me the most. Let me go to you right now. Let me send it to us because I gotta do 6 jobs to do it because I don't got access to my I don't have access to my Twitter anymore from here. I don't know the password.
Oh, okay, no problem. Just and you can't drop it in because you're not. Yeah.
No, I'm about to drop it right now.
You could drop it in
StreamYard. But it's a process. Had to DM it to myself on the phone. Once I got on the phone, it comes to my computer. From the computer, I'm able to grab that and then put it in the StreamYard. Amen.
Amen. Here we go.
Okay. So,
is you see it now?
The Blackstone shooter. This is what she said, and everybody in the comments, man. If you look, it's like people were. I'm obsessed with this vigilante eat the rich stage of oligarchy. May there be a Luigi for every CEO in the world. I knew it, but he was too precise. He's an ex PI2, that's a private investigator, instantly identified and neutralized threats on the first floor, went straight to the 33rd and got a damn executive of Blackstone. Yeah, this wasn't a mass shooting, it was a hit. Did he actually get him? I've not seen the Blackstone CEO dead headline because it wasn't true. Do we know if Blackstone in itself is a subsidiary of BlackRock? Seems way too. They started going into everything, but this was a mass murder. We got to get the guns out. Gun control. Let's start. See, here, it always, flips with who the murderer was. And then the first thing that I saw, which was, if not immediate, a few minutes after the news dropped of the active mass shooter, basically they wanted to say he was a nigga. And then people, instead of just saying, oh my goodness, there's a mass shooting going on, were working hard to say he is not a nigga. He is not, white. He is not this. He's Hawaiian. And here's where I say black people are not a monolith. The Rock's dad is a black Hawaiian man.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. There's a mentally unwell man in the streets of New York in a building right now, murdering people. People are having to barricade themselves, send their last text messages to their people because they happen to work inside of this building. Get the guns off the street. There's never going to be a time. And of course, being mentally unwell is a thing too. If y'all want to just stick to there, why are we taking away mental health care for people? There's so much things that we can go with. But the first thing is we need to kill the CEO. Because it happened.
But he didn't kill, but he didn't get the CEO.
And the CEO wasn't even murdered, was unharmed.
Right. He didn't kill the CEO. He killed an executive. Oh, okay. So, but
killed the security guard, killed another. Are you not thinking about those things? somebody is mentally unwell but got access to a gun because they can get access to a gun. They have the ability, even if they're mentally unwell. There was no check. There's nothing going on. There's no proper gun control in this country where this story should have aligned there. It went straight into let's make sure he's not black, let's make sure he's not white, and then let's make him a hero. This story is not even the Luigi story bothered me, but at the same time, Luigi went after what he went after.
Right.
Didn't kill nobody else in the process.
Didn't kill a comrade. Didn't kill a working class
on it.
Look, did not kill a working class individual. Here, and I'm gonna read this comment from Beatrix. Can't be peace and love when somebody's boot is on your neck. That's a false dichotomy. Nobody said be peace and love. I'm saying you got to be strategic. And if your actions, while they may feel good, is going to cause, okay, let me do this because, do I do this the same day? Because I'm getting ready to drop something on Israel and Hamas. And I'm getting ready to drop something and I honestly need everybody's help. I need everybody's help to get the word out because Hamas hasn't existed since at least March of 2024. Over a year. It's just logically impossible. It's impossible based on the words of Israel itself. And I've tested it and run it through simulation after simulation. It's just, we've been lied to for over a year. They have us chasing a ghost. Israel has created this whole phantom menace that doesn't really actually exist as an excuse for them to be able to still commit genocide. And I'm able to demonstrate it in many, many different ways. I'm gonna drop it today, and I need people help.
Better because the way that people are like, Ben, don't be saying nothing. You came back up now.
No. I haven't done anything else but that for the last. I haven't put out anything else because of that. I wouldn't say it if I wasn't. Yeah. So, but I got to contextualize I had to contextualize. Like I ride for Palestine. And I have since day one, before October 7th. Well, let me tell you something. If your strategy for your liberation is to give demons every excuse they need to genocide you, and you give them the moral high ground to do it, then that's a bad strategy. And this ain't the first time I've said this about Hamas. People like to venerate them and say, I won't condemn them and stuff. Let me tell you why I condemned them when they existed. They don't exist anymore. Because how do you make a move that doesn't change your position? It only makes it worse. It doesn't change it for the better. It only makes it worse. So much so that what Hamas did on October 7th was a give me. It was a benefit. It benefited Benjamin Netanyahu so much so that it couldn't have been planned better if it was planned by Benjamin Netanyahu himself. Matter of fact, Benjamin Netanyahu knew about it because Egypt warned him about it a year in advance. Egypt said in their security and their intelligence briefings that there's something coming, and this is the time frame that you can expect it on. Benjamin Netanyahu ignored it. And matter of fact, Benjamin Netanyahu allowed funds from Qatar to go into the hands of Hamas. And what they did on October 7th didn't do anything to help the Palestinian people. Now, y'all could fight me on that. Y'all could say whatever you want to say on that. The reason I tie it to this is because you do not give demons the moral justification to run their violence on you the way they have mastered. It's not about being peace and roses and love. It's about being smarter than them and not putting a gun in their hand to shoot us with. And the more and more we see people try to take vigilante, you can't kill enough CEOs. You can't, because they're going to replace, they got a new CEO already. Mm-hmm. The strategy has to be far deeper.
Yep. The jobs will immediately go up and they'll put it on Indeed. So looking for a new position or looking for a new such and such. So I'm glad that you are covering this. I think that it'll be good to put some context to it for a lot of people.
No, I'm dropping all of it today. All of it today.
Look, that's good.
Let's get off the list because that's why I couldn't do the show yesterday. I had to put the final touches on it. They've been running a sham. They've been running a scam on us, and every part of Zionism, every part of Israel has got to come down because of what they did. And so we can wrap up so I can get to work and get to publishing it. But
not Ben telling me to get off the show.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm heading to a funeral, so I will not be here on Saturday. I'm gonna head down to Florida for a day or two.
Yes.
Yep. So I'm leaving on this evening, so I won't be on Leftist Mafia on this evening, and I won't be on the show on Saturday morning. So I dragged Ben out of bed for us to do a show on this morning. But it was good to get to speak with you guys. And Ben, I know that it's great for you to even tease what you're about to drop. I think that's great. So the people who are watching now, make sure you will be on the lookout for Ben's latest work, which is going to be a nice revelation about Hamas and how it doesn't exist, according to Ben. So I would definitely be watching on my way home.
She said, according to Ben, she's like, I got to cover my butt before
let me make sure I watch it first.
Yes,
and then we go. But even in how you break it down right now, I could absolutely see how that could be for sure, because that is not just who moves just like that. America moves like that too. They make us follow a ghost forever, and then whole time they made it up.
Here's your best evidence, right? Just one of 7 different categories of reasons why they cannot exist. That, and by the way, this is also I want to say this: the West and society in general has allowed and accepted Israel using artificial intelligence to automate, select targets, automate drones. The drones just go out there and kill them. Right. That's what this is the Lavender program. If the West accepts artificial intelligence being used to kill Palestinians, then the West cannot deny when every major AI platform, from Grok to ChatGPT to Perplexity to Claude to DeepSeek to all the rest of them.
All AI things?
All of them are different AIs, and I've tested in every single one of them. All of them say it is logically impossible for Hamas to still exist past March of 2024, based on Israel's own words and based on the conditions and the material conditions of their surveillance, on their siege, on everything else. It's just not logically possible. There must be some other explanation. And so if the West has accepted AI being used to kill Palestinians, then they can't turn around and say, oh, it's AI. We don't like AI. We're not going to use. No. AI has confirmed. 6 of them have confirmed that it's just not possible for Hamas to still exist. And so what they have done over the past year has been nothing. It's been more than a year, right? So like a year and 4 months has been nothing but propaganda. And they have killed since then 20,000 people. They have killed just since then. So yeah, I'm gonna drop it today, and I'm gathering a couple people in Discord. I'm gonna let you all see it first. I'm gonna let you all review it first, and then once you see it and you review it, I need your help getting it out. So that's what it is.
I love that. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you have shared. We got to do the super chats.
Yes, super chats and your Cash App. Drop your Cash App.
Oh, let me go ahead. You guys, absolutely. Please, in this moment, if you can, go ahead and send.
Let me read the super chats while you pull that up. Hey, had a convo with Ben, talking with DJ Exclusive next Tuesday on this space. I'd love to have a convo with you too, Rebecca. Either my show, Like It or Not, or Leftist Mafia.
DM me.
Yes.
He said he's gonna DM me on.
Okay, I'll set y'all up on a DM and well, you got to get back on Twitter. But Sharon Middleton said, "Be careful what you consume, folks. Will lead to burning house." That was during the context of the FBA ADOS conversation. Absolutely right. Becca is FAMU. LOL. Unfortunately, I went to FAU. I wanted to go to FAMU, but I didn't have the funds to go. I'm ashamed to say I marched in the white band.
And that's okay, because you were the example in that white band. I know that she was given full on HBCU within the white band. They was confused, like, how he doing all that?
And
know-
listen,
yeah.
I left my HBCU and went to FAU and got my bachelor's and my master's from FAU. So shout out to the Owls
down there in Boynton.
No,
Is it
Boca
Boynton?
Raton.
Boca.
Big rat. Asymptotic behavior says, speak on that Publix chicken bin. I feel so like this extra black on that one. That's and then your Becca's voice. Y'all send Becca some love. Send her some love to help her get to these the traveling she's got to do. She's going to mourn and lay her best friend's father.
Yeah. Grew up since we were like 2, and this is something to.
How old was he, if you don't mind me asking?
He was only in his, I want to say, late 60s.
Wow.
Ended up having cancer, but was able to survive at least for 5 more years.
Oh wow.
And so that was good. It's shaking up my father, who I'm going down also in the midst of
to go help
mourning
him.
my friend's father, to take my dad to a doctor's appointment. So in the midst of this, as y'all know, your girl ain't in a place where I am, working anymore. I'm free. Remember, I used to say that all the time, but I'm handling everything on my own. So if you guys can, please send your girl a Cash App at Becca's Voice. I will be heading home. I will be back to make sure I love on y'all and drop some new content for you guys. And I wanted to thank you guys for one last thing, for getting your girl to 10,000 subscribers.
Hey.
I want to do something really special for you guys, so I'm putting that together as well. I just need the time to edit it and get all the things done. But thank you guys for your support. Your girl finally is at 10K. And I just remember 2 years ago, I wasn't even using that page, and I was at 170. And now I'm at 10K subscribers. So I really appreciate you guys. And if you can, keep pushing the channel, keep pushing the work. Support financially will be great. Again, that's Becca's Voice on Cash App. But just watching, actual commenting, just whatever it is, just engaging with the channel for the algorithm. I want to see more of our faces in the places outside of whatever they call them, cornbread tube or whatever. I just found out about that myself, and shout out to that. But I want to see us in every space around the internet, just because our work is good. Don't want it to suppress us. So please, definitely, what Ben is about to drop, support that as well. All right. Thank you guys. So anything else, Ben?
No, that's it. Let's get out of here.
All right. I love you guys. Mean it. I'll see you guys on the other side next week. Happy August. Here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show like it or not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life ish. I live in life in the ATL.